Ever since I was a young lad, I always loved animals, probably because they didn't talk back to me or expect anything from me other than my attention and some belly rubs. The first pet I ever had was a parrot. I don't remember what his name was, but every time we'd let him out of his cage, he'd go to this one painting on the wall and poop all over it, as if he were a modern-day Picasso. My dad ended up releasing him because he said parrots weren't meant to be confined in cages, but his logic really confused me because, okay, for one, this parrot had no practical skills needed to survive in the real world at all, kind of like how I feel coming out of college right now. Also, we lived in Dubai, which was just filled with exotic cars and skyscrapers, so unless this parrot had some serious oil money, I did not see myself crossing paths with him again. The other reason my dad's logic didn't make any sense is because he bought another parrot after releasing the last one. I named him Romeo, and he was pretty cool. At first, until I guess he hit puberty and then turned into a total dickhead. He'd make it seem like he liked you, but the first chance he got, he'd just bite down, blood everywhere, just you're screaming, the parrot's screaming. It's just bad times. Anyway, Romeo knew how to say his name and a couple other phrases. My grandmom taught him how to say, "Watch out, there's a cat coming," but we never had cats, so he just looked mentally challenged when he'd say that. We thought that Romeo was pissed off all the time because he needed a friend, and so we got another parrot, but that didn't work out too good because he was covered in roaches the first time we brought him home. But what I really wanted for the longest time was a dog. I love dogs, and I wanted one so bad, and every time I would ask my dad, he would say, "No, we can't get a dog because we already have parrots and this house is in a zoo," which I thought was kinda hypocritical of him to say because he once told me that in college he had a pet monkey and that it destroyed his place when he went to work and raided his fridge. Anyway, my dad said we couldn't get the dog unless we got rid of the parrots, and so, given the fact that Romeo had a thirst for my blood and the other parrot was kinda creepy looking, I said sure, and that's how I got Charlie. Now, Charlie wasn't the best guard dog, or very good at fetch, but he sure knew how to show those pigeons that landed in our balcony who's boss. Then when I came to college, I got a cat. His name was Rocco. He was pretty cool for the most part, except when he'd wake me up at 4 a.m. in the morning for absolutely no reason. And he also had this weird thing where he preferred to drink water out the faucet instead of out the bowl. But hey, who am I to judge? So after a couple years, I decided to go check up on Romeo and see how he's doing. And guess what? Romeo? Yeah, he laid an egg. Suddenly realizing Romeo was actually a Juliet, I felt like I was on an episode of Jerry Springer. 13-year-old me was really confused about gender for a while after that. I also had a tarantula that a friend gifted to me, but my dad made me give him away because he said it wasn't a hygienic pet to have, but I think that was secretly horseshit. I think my dad was just worried that this spider was gonna sneak into his room at night and make him look stupid or something.